Hello everyone and guys, welcome to the session. So whenever we start preparing for the examination, it's not just about phase 1 of the examination because it's just a qualifying examination. The merit is decided on the phase 2 of the examination because ultimately the performance that you have given there will decide whether you're going to sit for the interview or not. So guys, this video is about one of the important component with regards to your phase 2 examination, that is economic and social issues. So stay till the end because today we are going to discuss about what is the pattern if we are seeing in the examination. We will also tell about the sources to prepare. We will also tell about what should be the right strategy when you are preparing for this specific part of the examination, that is economic and social issues. But guys, let me give you a clarity here. The reference that we have taken in this video is from the RBI Grade B examination. Because as of now, we do not have any information that what would be the syllabus and what would be the exam pattern of the RBI grade examination. So if you are a student who is preparing just only for the RBI grade examination, because there are rumors that there might be the examination of RBI grade this year. So guys, you might skip this video also. But yes, if you are preparing for both RBI grade A and grade B, this video will really be useful for all of you. But before I start this video guys, I just wanted a small attention of yours that guys, we guys are offering you a free mentorship course for you guys, where we are giving you the glimpse of what are the things we are providing you absolutely free of cost. It's not a complete course, but here you will get a complete reference that what we are actually delivering you in the course, so that you can see that what are the things we are providing. So if I talk about this course, you will see the glimpse of concept classes, concept notes, our summary sheets, the current affairs we are going to provide here. If you will just click on the link that is given in the description below, that will brought you here. Here if I see guys, you will see the concept classes. Okay, freely you can watch that also, and you can also look at the testimonials which the students has given to us. And another important thing guys, you must also go through the ebook of the RBI grade B examination, because that will really help you in understanding the previous year question paper, because that are available freely to you there. Then along with that guys, it will also give you a brief strategy that how you guys can utilize your preparation with regards to, or how you can start your preparation with regards to the RBI examination. Okay, so now guys, let's come back to the session here, and let me first start with the first most important question here with regards to the understanding of the examination pattern here. Because if I talk about economic and social issues, specifically in the objective part of the paper, in the RBI grade B, there is no defined pattern. What I meant by defined pattern is it's not that in every year they are following the same thing. Let me just show you the thing here. If you look at the previous 3 exam cycles of RBI grade B, phase 2 objective, ESI, you can see here in 2022, there were 20 questions that were from schemes. Okay? There were 3 questions from reports and there were 8 questions that were from ESI current affairs. Then we moved to 2023, drastic change here. Just 12 questions from government schemes, and out of those 12 questions, there were very few questions which were paragraph based questions. 8 questions from ESI current affairs, 3 questions and 7 questions were from ESI static. So static got a weightage here. Now when I come to the examination of 2024, scheme again reduced, 10 questions, reports drastically increased, 17 questions, no question from ESI static, and 3 questions were from ESI current affairs, which tells us one thing, that there is no defined pattern, which means you have to study each and every part of the ESI for your examination, be it ESI current affairs, be it ESI static. So you have to give due importance to both the things in the examination. But what to do, which part of this specific scheme or report you have to give the importance, let's discuss that. So first of all, when I talk about the current affairs, the most important part is the timeline of current affairs, which you must follow if you are preparing for the examination. So my dear friends, if I talk about the timeline here, if you just look at the examination of 2024, here you will see that majority of questions that we are seeing, TKG, are basically from 6 to 8 months, which we always say that desirably what should be your target, you should target 8 months, and if 8 months is not feasibility, target 6 months. So that you can see here also. Government schemes, 7 questions from past 6 months. Reports, 11 questions from past 6 months. Current affairs, there was, that is ESI current affairs, 1 question from 6 months, another 2 from past 8 months here. So this is how the questions have been asked. But now guys, one thing again important for all of you before I proceed further on. With regards to reports, I would say it's better if you target past 1 year. Because what we are observing in the examination of RBI is that in case of reports, they are asking question of those reports also which are released by prominent organizations like World Bank, World Economic Forum, but they are asking questions which are beyond 8 months also. And each and every year you will also see a question specifically from reports if I talk about here, because that we have witnessed in the examination of 2022 and in 2024 there was a paragraph based question on a report which was beyond 1 year also. So whether we have to target that thing, I would say no, because I know each and every mark counts here, but for each and every mark it's not feasible because we cannot choose each and every question also. So better is to stick to your plan. Okay, first target should always be 8 months. Okay, then if you are targeting 8 months, 6 months will already be covered. अगर आप preparation later on पे start, later stage पे start करते हो तो 6 months को पहले target रखो. 6 months हो गए तो go over 8 months. 8 months भी हो गया, आपको लग रहा है आप comfortable है, you have a time, then go with the reports which are there in past 1 year. But that's what I'm saying guys, that is for those students who want कि मेरा reports में तो मुझे कुछ गलत करना ही नहीं है. नहीं तो मेजरली आपका देख रहे हो कि ये 8 मंथ्स में यू कैन स्कोर रियली गुड मार्क्स इन द एग्जामिनेशन. नाउ लेट मी टॉक अबाउट द नेक्स्ट पार्ट ऑफ द थिंग, दैट इज which are the things you have to prepare in ESI current affairs or how to prepare ESI current affairs. So guys, with regards to ESI current affairs, I said that based on the analysis of the previous examinations, we have divided your ESI current affairs into 3 segments, that is your government schemes, your reports, and current affairs related to syllabus which excludes reports and government schemes. Which means here the most important understanding for you guys is that is about the syllabus of economic and social issues. And one thing more important guys, here in this video I am going to discuss only about the phase 2 of the examination. With regards to phase 1, I have already made a video that is regarding general awareness section where I have explained that what are the questions which are coming from ESI part of the current affairs. Okay, so that part you can look out from that specific video. The link for that is given in the description below. Chaliye, let's proceed further. So you should be first of all really thorough about the syllabus of economic and social issues here. Now first thing is government schemes, because government scheme is that part of the examination which we say it's a kind of a static part. Okay, अगर कोई स्कीम लॉन्च हुई है, कोई अपडेट है, बस वही पार्ट चेंज करना, अदरवाइज स्कीम स्टैटिक ही रहती हैं. और स्कीम्स में पढ़ना क्या है, स्कीम्स में अगर मैं आपको बात करूं तो ये कुछ स्पेसिफिक डायमेंशन है जो हमने एनालाइज किए हैं बेस्ड ऑन द प्रीवियस ईयर पेपर. व्हाट आर दिस डायमेंशंस? First of all, you should be able to understand why that scheme is seen in news. There is a milestone achieved by that scheme. Is that scheme launched, or is there any spat of data that is being released with regards to that specific scheme? Current development is important. Now you will see a question on identification of a scheme, that which scheme is being talked about in the above paragraph, because paragraph based questions are being asked. But yes, in the examination of 2023 or I could say 24, we have not seen more questions on paragraph based questions. We have seen more of a case study based questions, statement based questions being asked. But guys, you do not know. जैसे मैं आपको पहले बोला है, अगर एग्जाम पैटर्न 22, 23, 24 में डिफरेंट है तो 25 में यू कैन एक्सपेक्ट समथिंग न्यू. यू कैन एक्सपेक्ट कि मे बी इट इज अ पैटर्न ऑफ 2022 where they will again ask more questions on government schemes, less weightage is given to report section. So anything can be done. So we should be ready with everything. Okay, ji. Now what to read? You should be aware about the launch year of the scheme, ministry, who is implementing that specific scheme, funding pattern, objective, updates, eligible beneficiaries, target, and if there is a tagline, go with that part. Now for this part of scheme, how to understand, I always say to a student, guys, best way to read a scheme is start thinking that if I have read a scheme, I have to explain the same scheme to my fellow part, not to the fellow partner who is preparing for the examination. For example, मैंने कोई स्कीम पढ़ी, मुझे अपने ब्रदर या सिस्टर को वो स्कीम सुनानी है and they have no idea about that scheme. I take an example here. Let's say I am talking about PM मुद्रा स्कीम. So मैं क्या बोलूंगा, मैं अपने घर में बोलूंगा कि एक मुद्रा स्कीम है. वो कहते क्या होती है मुद्रा स्कीम, व्हाट इज मुद्रा स्कीम. मैं बोलूंगा यार ये ना एक रीफाइनेंस लोन स्कीम है. रीफाइनेंस लोन का मतलब क्या होता है? विच मीन्स गवर्नमेंट हैज गिवन मनी टू सम स्पेसिफिक इंस्टीट्यूशन एंड दे आर फर्दर लेंडिंग। रीफाइनेंसिंग हो गया, ठीक है जी। अब आ गया रीफाइनेंसिंग। तो रीफाइनेंसिंग लोन क्या प्लेज करना है? कुछ नहीं है, कोलेटरल फ्री है। कोलेटरल फ्री है, नॉन फार्मिंग एंड नॉन एग्री बिजनेस को दिया जाएगा। लोन दिए जाते हैं शिशु, किशोर, तरुण एंड तरुण प्लस। दिस इज व्हाट आई विल गिव द इन्फॉर्मेशन कि लोन अमाउंट आप क्या लोन अमाउंट है वो बता दूंगा। फिर ये बता दूंगा इसके लिए तो प्रोसेसिंग फीस भी नहीं लगती है। फिर गारंटी बैंक को कौन देगा? बिकॉज गारंटी बैंक विल ऑल्सो डिमांडिंग एंड हु विल गिव द गारंटी? नेशनल क्रेडिट गारंटी ट्रस्ट लिमिटेड, that will be providing guarantee to the banks. Now this is the major thing we have covered in the PM मुद्रा स्कीम। यही तो चीज है तो क्वेश्चन में पूछी जाती है। यहां से अब आपने क्या किया? आई एम नॉट सेइंग ईच एंड एवरी पॉइंट इज कवर्ड, बट फ्रॉम हियर व्हेन यू आर एक्सप्लेनिंग दैट थिंग यू गॉट अ बेसिक इन्फ्रेंस ऑफ दैट स्कीम, यू आर अंडरस्टैंडिंग द स्कीम, बिकॉज आपको पता है वही चीज आपको एग्जामिनर को भी तो करना है ना। वट इज एग्जामिनर आस्किंग यू? ही वांट्स टू टेस्ट यू एंड एग्जामिनर यू डू नॉट नो हु इज द एग्जामिनर। तो आपको उसको बताना ही तो है कि मुझे आता। जब ये चीज आपको याद हो गई, because this current sir will be here when he will be talking about the descriptive answer. This is what you can quote in the descriptive also. If I ask you that with regards to non-agriculture sector, ठीक है, about the agricultural allied sector, what the government is planning, what are the initiatives government has taken, you can quote PM Mudra there also for financial inclusion part. So this is how you have to start understanding the scheme. That should be the criteria here. And based on this, you look at the questions also. The questions are also asked from these specifically. For example, previous year, there was a question on Mission Vatsalya scheme based on the eligibility. So they have asked the question that which among the following is eligible to get the benefits of Mission Vatsalya scheme. ठीक है, यहां पे भी आपने ये बताया। तो इस तरह थोड़ा सा आपको स्कीम को कहीं ना कहीं समझ के यार स्टार्ट करो। डू नॉट स्टार्ट क्रैमिंग द स्कीम, नहीं तो स्कीम पढ़ना बहुत मुश्किल हो जाएगा। अब स्कीम के लिए अगर मैंने आपको टाइमलाइन बता ही दिया, टाइमलाइन इज सेम, दैट इज पास्ट 8 months, बट स्कीम्स में क्या होता है, बिकॉज द सेशंस आर गोइंग ऑन, सो लास्ट 6 months विल प्ले अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट रोल। Because if you talk about after every 3 months, we have a parliamentary session, budget session, monsoon session, then we have winter session, which means that the schemes which the government is primarily focusing on, they are repeated on a continuous cycle. And that's why I said you have to cover those schemes which are seen in news, okay, and which are related to syllabus are very, very important. Because now the next question that will be coming into the mind of a student is, sir, आपने ministry तो बताई नहीं, ministry कौन सी पढ़ूं? यार मैं बोलता हूं सारी मिनिस्ट्रीज पढ़ो, बिकॉज द मिनिस्ट्रीज विच आर नॉट रिलेटेड टू सिलेबस लाइक मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी, मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ पार्लियामेंट्री अफेयर्स, मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ कल्चर, देयर आर हार्डली स्कीम्स ऑफ दीज स्पेसिफिक मिनिस्ट्रीज विच आर सीन इन न्यूज। इफ यू कैलकुलेट द इन पास्ट 8 months, आप मुझे बताओ कितनी होंगी? हार्डली देयर विल बी 10 to 12 schemes which are specifically from these ministries, which means you have to read all the prominent ministries which are there in the news, and obviously they are the schemes which are seen in news, which are released by the prominent ministries, चाहे वो हेल्थ एंड फैमिली वेलफेयर हो, सोशल जस्टिस हो, मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ फाइनेंस हो, मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ एमएसएमई हो, वही न्यूज में ज्यादा होते हैं और वही आपको पढ़नी भी है जो न्यूज में है। ओके, सो आई थिंक द स्कीम्स पार्ट इज क्लियर। नाउ लेट्स गो विद द नेक्स्ट इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग, दैट इज रिपोर्ट्स हियर, बिकॉज प्रीवियस ईयर it was like a shocker because we have seen lot of questions from reports, but when we have analyzed the paper, we found out that it's not a shocker, it is something we were expecting, but we have not thought कि ये चीज के ऊपर पैराग्राफ बेस्ड क्वेश्चन आएंगे या फिर इसको फेस 2 में पूछा जाएगा। रीजन क्या है मैं बताता हूं। रीजन इज इन दिस सिलेबस ऑफ इकोनॉमिक एंड सोशल इश्यूज पार्ट हियर। इफ यू गो थ्रू द नोटिफिकेशन ऑफ आरबीआई, अगेन आई एम सेइंग आरबीआई ग्रेड बी, अगर आप नोटिफिकेशन में जाओगे तो यू हैव सीन that in the notification they have clearly defined the reports clearly, like World Development Report, Economic Survey, RBI Annual Report, World Economic Outlook, Report on Trends and Progress of Banking in India, and if you go with the finance part here, then you will see Report on Currency and Finance, Financial Stability Report mentioned. If you look at the question this year that was in the examination of 2024 that was asked, तो क्या पूछा गया? There was a paragraph on economic survey, there was a paragraph on world development report, there was a paragraph on World Economic Forum as an organization because World Economic Forum is again given in this syllabus. अगर आप यहाँ पे सिलेबस में जाओगे ना, देखो मैं बता दूं, मैं आपको बता रहा था, ठीक है, लुक एट द सिलेबस, IMF एंड वर्ल्ड बैंक, ठीक है जी, ये लिखा ओरिजिनल इकोनॉमिक ऑपरेशंस, तो ये तो लिखी हुई है ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, वर्ल्ड ट्रेड ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, देयर वाज अ क्वेश्चन इन द एग्जामिनेशन ऑफ 2023. सो विच मींस यू हैव टू बी रियली रियली थॉरो विद दिस सिलेबस. अगर आप इन चीजों को पढ़ोगे तो क्वेश्चन आपको पता चल जाएगा, ठीक है ना. तो क्वेश्चन कहीं ना कहीं सिलेबस से ही आया था, तो ये रिपोर्ट्स भी सिलेबस में मेंशन थी. ओके, नाउ दीज आर द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट रिपोर्ट्स. नाउ यू विल बी आस्किंग मी सर ये रिपोर्ट्स कब पढ़नी है. ये रिपोर्ट्स आपको जब भी लेटेस्ट एडिशन आएगा आपको पढ़ना है, बिकॉज वर्ल्ड इकोनॉमिक आउटलुक और वर्ल्ड डेवलपमेंट रिपोर्ट में क्या होता है, इनके 6 मंथ्स के बाद एडिशंस आते हैं. आरबीआई एनुअल रिपोर्ट जनरली यूज्ड टू कम इन द मंथ ऑफ, या तो मई एंड में आता है या फिर जून एंड में. मई जून एंड में आरबीआई का एनुअल रिपोर्ट आता है. देन रिपोर्ट ऑन ट्रेंड्स एंड प्रोग्रेस ऑफ बैंकिंग इन इंडिया, इट इज बेसिकली रिलीज इन द मंथ ऑफ दिसंबर. So my dear friends, if you have started your preparation now, I would say first give priority to this report because we do not know when the exam is going to come. तो पहले आप इसको पढ़ लीजिए, रिपोर्ट ऑन ट्रेंड्स एंड प्रोग्रेस ऑफ बैंकिंग इन इंडिया. ये क्योंकि दिसंबर में एनुअल एडिशन आया है, ये डन है. बाकी रिपोर्ट्स अभी जो हैं आने वाली हैं, आरबीआई एनुअल रिपोर्ट भी आने वाली है. फॉर दैट आई वुड से इधर वेट फॉर द नोटिफिकेशन, और जब इस साल की रिपोर्ट आएगा ना उसको आप पढ़ लेना. ओके, but other than that, what are the reports you have to cover, because there was the question being asked on the global risk report also. So now how to cover those reports? Now here I would say guys, your priority should be given to reports which are released by international and national organizations and which are related to your syllabus. That is why I'm saying syllabus is very very important. So अगर आपने आज ही preparation start किया तो आपको सबसे पहले syllabus को ही रट्टा मारना है. You have to be थ्रू योर हार्ट, मतलब आपको सिलेबस आपके दिल में हो जाना चाहिए, मतलब बस जाना चाहिए, वो चीज होनी चाहिए. ठीक है जी. सो हियर दीज आर द रिपोर्ट्स व्हिच आर वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. अदर देन दैट आई वुड से द रिपोर्ट्स रिलीज्ड बाय प्राइवेट ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस रिलेटेड टू सिलेबस आर अगेन इंपॉर्टेंट. ठीक है जी. इट कैन बी रिपोर्ट लाइक एनुअल स्टेटस ऑफ एजुकेशन रिपोर्ट रिलीज्ड बाय प्रथम ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. देन वी कैन टेक एन एग्जांपल ऑफ लांसेट आल्सो, द क्वेश्चन ऑन व्हिच वाज आस्क्ड प्रीवियस ईयर. बट अगेन लिमिटेशन इज मस्ट, बिकॉज मैं आपको बता रहा हूं 24 में भी हुआ था, 22 में भी हुआ था. दे हैव आस्क्ड द क्वेश्चन ऑन अ स्क्रीन एंड दैट वाज अ पैराग्राफ बेस्ड क्वेश्चन. आई कंप्लीटली रिलेट टू दोस स्टूडेंट्स हु माइट बी फीलिंग कि सर मेरे तो 4 क्वेश्चन यानी कि 8 नंबर गए और आप कह रहे हो मत पढ़ो. गाइस वी हैव टू बी अडेप्टेटिव टू दैट पार्ट आल्सो, बिकॉज अब उसने 2 साल पहले रिपोर्ट पूछे, कल को वो कोई 4 साल पुरानी रिपोर्ट पूछ ले तो उसको ढूंढना इट वॉन्ट बी फिजिबल ना, कि 4 साल पहले वाली रिपोर्ट याद हो जाएगी, नहीं होगी. बट जो 42 मार्क्स का पेपर बचा उसको तो बेस्ट करो. सो दैट शुड बी द स्ट्रेटेजी. ओके जी. एंड दैट इज व्हाई आई वुड से कि ये रिपोर्ट्स जो कोई लिख के आ रहा है, दैट यू कैन टेक अ रेफरेंस ऑफ पास्ट ईयर फॉर अ मोर कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव प्रिपरेशन. आई एम नॉट सेइंग दे विल नॉट आस्क, बट फॉर अ मोर कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव प्रिपरेशन हियर दिस कैन यू कैन टारगेट फॉर पास्ट 1 year. Okay जी. So clear on this part which reports are important, and as I you see in the example also there was a paragraph based question on world development report also. अब ये क्वेश्चन आया है, अब इसको सॉल्व कैसे कर सकते हैं, क्या क्या चीजें पढ़नी है जहां से क्वेश्चन सॉल्व होगा. कोई भी रिपोर्ट पढ़ रहे हो तो लुक एट दिस बेसिक पैरामीटर्स. हु इज रिलीजिंग दिस रिपोर्ट, देन अबाउट द रिपोर्ट मीन्स यू मस्ट बी covering the parameters or indicator of the report. Then ranking globally top 5, bottom 3. This is what they are asking you question, top 5 or bottom 3. India's rank is very important, and you should also know about India's rank or performance with regards to different indicator also. Then in terms of key findings, you should be thrown about global finding. Global finding means talk about the major findings. Major findings like कि अगर किसी में बहुत, जैसे यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स, आई गिव यू एन एग्जांपल. फॉर एग्जांपल देयर इज अ रिपोर्ट व्हिच इज सेइंग दैट फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स एंड यूरोपियन यूनियन आर नॉट अमंग द टॉप 10. दैट सॉर्ट ऑफ डाटा इज इंपॉर्टेंट, नॉट ईच एंड एवरी लाइन. दिस इज अ स्टेट दैट दिस इज अ सिटी दैट हैज टॉप्ड इन एशिया in that specific room. That is something you need to remember here. Okay. Then India specific findings are very very important. What they're talking about India is important and you should be thorough. You can see here also in this question that the question is basically being asked from India specific finding in the world development report. Okay, so India's specific findings are very, very important, be it finding, be it ranking. And if the report has been released by Indian organizations like Niti Aayog, then obviously, guys, we should be thorough about the top performing states, the worst performing state. Okay, and if there is a state which has really done marvelous work, ठीक है, कोई अचीवमेंट किया है बहुत बढ़िया, तो वो हमें पता होना चाहिए. Then in terms of the reports which are mentioned in your syllabus, like World Development Report, World Economic Outlook, RBI annual report, report on currency and finance, report on trends and progress of banking in India, you should be thorough about their recommendations also, because that's again important. And if you look at the question here, there's a question that has been asked on the recommendations also. Suggest various strategies to escape economic trap. That is on the recommendation. The question has been asked. And this thing will be useful for your descriptive also, guys. It's not just objective. Descriptive के लिए भी ये चीज आपकी काम आएगी. Okay. And now important thing again, this reports if you see, ये भी आपकी न्यूज में ही होंगी. बस याद रखना जो 6 रिपोर्ट सिलेबस में मेंशन्ड है वो आपको लेटेस्ट एडिशन उनका पढ़ना है, बिकॉज वो फेज 1 और फेज 2 दोनों के लिए ही इंपॉर्टेंट बनने वाली है. ओके, now let's talk about your ESI current affairs. ठीक है, schemes are done, reports are done. Now let's talk about the ESI current affairs here. So with regards to ESI current affairs, first of all, that is again something you will find here in the ESI current affairs. There are some topics which are regular in nature, and if you have read them once, बाकी टाइम आप रिवाइज ही करो, same like schemes. Here if I talk about, you will see prominent organizations. You might have seen news on BRICS, BIMSTEC, I could say India's climate action. ठीक है जी, अपार initiative. Now one initiative which is consistently seen in news is ANRF, Anusandhan National Research Fellowship. So your first point of reference should be go through the static part here, because this year 2024 we have not seen any question. But पहले तो क्वेश्चन पैराग्राफ बेस्ड क्वेश्चन ही आए हैं. 23 में भी आया, 24 में भी आए हैं, सॉरी 22 में भी आया, 23 में भी आया. तो दैट शुड बी द थिंग. सो पहले आप यहाँ पे फोकस कीजिए प्रोमिनेंट टॉपिक्स पे. इनके साथ जो जो जब आपने जो स्टैटिक एक बार पढ़ लिया, जैसे जैसे न्यूज में आ रहा है आप उसको रिवाइज भी करते रहोगे. लुक एट द एडिशनल पार्ट हियर. ठीक है. And one thing important is, guys, the data which are related to GST. GST data are very important, and specifically the latest data, because every year we are seeing question there. So question was, which one of the following state was not among the top 3 states in terms of highest GST revenue? ये क्वेश्चन पूछा गया था, ये फेज 1 में भी था क्वेश्चन. ठीक है. इसके अलावा दोस्तों आप पूछो, अगर मैं बात करूं यहाँ पे, तो यहाँ पे क्वेश्चन आया था मिशन लाइफस्टाइल फॉर एनवायरनमेंट के ऊपर. वी हैव सीन अ क्वेश्चन ऑन particularly vulnerable tribal groups. We have seen a question on India, UAE, CEPA, or India, Australia Economic Cooperation Trade Agreement. The paragraph is questions. So which tells us for your phase 2 also you should be thorough about these topics, because they can ask you questions from these specific things also. Okay, ji. So now the current affair part is also done. So we have discussed now how to approach current affairs. The timeline we have discussed, that what are now the sources which you can refer if you are preparing for the current affairs of economic and social issues. Guys, the sources would be that predominantly your with regards to government schemes, your national reports, or your ESA current affairs. PIB is the most prominent source. Then for reports, you can also go to refer to the Hindu. Okay. Along with that, guys, with regards to the schemes, if you are preparing on your own, go through the schemes guidelines. For reports, go through the detailed reports, specifically for those reports which are mentioned in the syllabus. And if you are preparing for newspapers, then Hindu can be complemented with a newspaper like Business Standard or Limelight. Then the best thing I always say is, guys, it's best to go with the compilation. Read any of the one single source and then go with the compilation, whichever suits you. We are also offering you the compilations. We are giving you a specific reports tab, schemes tab, current tab document, and the reports which are mentioned in the syllabus. There is a dedicated section for that in the course. Okay, ji, where we are explaining those reports in a very detailed manner, elaborative manner, which can be useful for descriptive as well as for your objective part of the examination. Okay, so this is about your ESI current affairs part. Let's talk about the ESI static part here. With regards to ESI static, if I talk about here, guys, the most important thing is, here you have seen in the examination, it's not that it's a dominating pillar. No, It's not a dominating pillar. The objective is always dominated by current affairs. But somehow, the understanding of ESA static is very, very important because that will help you in understanding the current affairs more better. That will help you in drawing the thing कि ये क्यों हो रहा है, ये इससे क्या होने वाला है, वो आपको यहां से पता चलेगा. Okay? So if I talk about the most important topics which you must not miss with regards to ESA static should be these topics: monetary policy, international economic institutions, sustainable development and environmental issues, and then we have fiscal policy here. Okay, so these are the prominent topics which you have to read. Now when I talk about the other topics which are not that much बड़े, मतलब ये तो पढ़ ही लो बिकॉज इसमें से आपको क्वेश्चंस देखने को मिले हैं. इसके अलावा मैं टॉपिक्स की बात करूं दोस्तों, ठीक है, जो कि आपके डिस्क्रिप्टिव के लिए भी इंपॉर्टेंट हो सकते हैं और आपकी अंडरस्टैंडिंग के लिए इंपॉर्टेंट हो सकते हैं. वो कौन से टॉपिक्स हैं? वो ये टॉपिक्स हैं. दैट इज economic history of India because that is available for your understanding also. Measurement of growth. Then these two topics are very, very important: social justice and gender issues. Okay, and other than that, I would say balance of payment. That will really help you in understanding the current affairs in more better, or understanding the static part as well as the current affairs in a more better way. Now, with regards to ESA static, what are the prominent sources that you guys can follow? So, if you look at the sources, these are the sources here. Okay, ji, you can follow the book of for the economic and social issues. That is for economic part. You can go with the book that is by Ramesh Singh. ठीक है जी, रमेश सिंह जी ने जो बुक दी है इंडियन इकोनॉमी, you can follow that. And for the social issues part, you can go with the book of social problems in India. That is by Ram Ahuja sir. So that you can take a reference. But obviously, I would say start reading newspapers, start reading editorials. Because with regards to social issues, from there you will get to know more and more about that. And to elaborate more on that thing, I have this current sir with me who will now be telling you that what should be your strategy with regards to the descriptive part, because the 50% of paper is objective and the 50% of paper is descriptive. So over to this current sir now.
Yes, so hello everyone. I hope up till here you have enjoyed the session and you have understood things with respect to the objective paper. So now let us move on to the descriptive paper. But before that, let me just adjust this mic. Give me a second. Now, if we talk about the descriptive paper, so for the descriptive paper preparation, there are three important tools that you need to keep into consideration. The first one is basically the syllabus. The second one is PYQ, and the third one is answer writing practice. Syllabus is something that you have already covered with Gurkirat sir, and I would strongly suggest you to please download the syllabus. Fine, because it basically helps you to define the scope with respect to the examination. It helps you to know that what are the different topics that you have to cover as a part of the ESI component. The same rule applies to the finance and management also. Fine. So that is the importance of syllabus. Now, once you know the topics that you have to cover, the next question could be that up to what depth I have to cover those topics. So the best way to know that is by analyzing the previous year questions. Previous year question will help you to know that what is the depth up to which you have to cover a certain type of topic. What are the different kind of priority areas? The most important areas that you must cover. For example, do you have to cover schemes? Do you have to cover reports? Do you have to cover current affairs? Do you have to cover RBI website? If you are covering newspaper, which newspaper you should follow that is covering all this kind of different parameters? How you will able to understand that? You will be able to understand only and only by analyzing these PYQs. Apart from that, you will be able to know that from the schemes, what type of questions are being asked. From the schemes, what is the difficulty level? Are they asking the features of the scheme, or are they asking particularly the challenges of the scheme? All these things you will be able to know only and only by analyzing the previous year questions. And that is the reason why PYQs are very important. So let us talk about PYQs. Let us do some brief PYQ analysis. So if we analyze the PYQs, I have drawn this table for you. So you can see over here that the first part is with respect to the schemes. So you can see in the schemes in the year 2023, this question was asked, explain 3 government schemes related to poverty alleviation and employment generation. Now before 2023, RBI Grade B has not ever asked a question from the schemes, and in the 2024 also no scheme based question was asked in the descriptive paper. So what idea does it convey? Basically it conveys that you have to prepare the schemes, but only the important ones. Fine. And how you are going to choose the important schemes? Basically those type of schemes, this is something that I usually suggest to students, that you have to firstly prepare those type of schemes that have high impact factor. By impact factor, I mean that they have a big impact on a certain type of sector. For example, I would say Swanidhi scheme. Fine. For example, MG Narega. Or there is any certain type of scheme that is launched as a part of union budget, and a scheme has a heavy budget, it has a huge impact factor in the society. Apart from that, if the scheme has been very much highlighted as a part of the economic survey. So these could be the, I would say, areas or the parameters that you have to keep into consideration whilst identifying the most important schemes. Apart from that, what you have to cover as a part of the schemes. So firstly you will see that what is the target of the scheme, or you can say the features of the scheme, who are the beneficiaries of the scheme, and apart from that, any kind of financial mechanism, the finance that is being provided, the financial allocation with respect to that scheme. These are the 3 areas that you need to know. Apart from that, to be at the safer side, you need to prepare some challenges and solutions also. But do you have to prepare separate challenges and solutions for all the different type of schemes? The answer is no. You just need to have a right strategy as a part of your answer writing, so that if any question is asked from a certain type of scheme, for example, Ministry of Agriculture or Ministry of Rural Development, so basically you have to prepare some general challenges, some points related to challenges, and you also have to develop this art that if you know the features of the scheme, you should be in a position to generate the challenges also. Some 3 to 4 points, 4 to 5 points with respect to challenges, and opposite of challenges is what? Opposite of challenges is the solution and plus some value addition. This is something that you can do. You can prepare some general material, fine, which you can fit in different type of answers if the question comes in the examination. Because if you start preparing challenges for all the different type of schemes, then it will be a huge, I would say, tedious task. So do not go for that. You just have to focus on the beneficiary, target and the finance. और ये चीजें ऐसी है जो आपको कुछ अलग से prepare नहीं करनी है. Why? When you are preparing for the objective type paper, that is for phase 1 and also for the phase 2 objective paper, then at that time also you would be covering these things. So the only thing that you have to keep at the back of your mind is that you should cover the content in such a manner that you are able to write a descriptive answer on it. And I have already told you the parameters that you have to consider, that the scheme should have a high impact factor, or it should be highlighted as a part of the budget or economic survey. ठीक है, न्यूज में बहुत ज्यादा होगी तो तभी इंपॉर्टेंट है, अदरवाइज कोई ऐसी छोटी मोटी स्कीम गवर्नमेंट की आई है तो वो आपको डिस्क्रिप्टिव के लिए प्रिपेयर नहीं करनी है. ठीक है, सो दैट इज द आइडिया. नाउ द नेक्स्ट थिंग इज द रिपोर्ट्स. नाउ बेसिकली एज अ पार्ट ऑफ योर प्रिपरेशन you have to focus on 2 type of reports. Which are those 2 type of reports? The first type of reports are the ones that are mentioned as a part of your syllabus. And the second category of reports that are not mentioned as a part of your syllabus. Now what should be the priority? The priority should be that firstly you have to cover those reports that are mentioned as a part of your syllabus. This should be your first priority. So what are those reports? For example, economic survey, including the budget also, fine. Apart from that, the financial stability report, the world economic outlook, reports on trends and banking, reports on currency and finance, also sort of things. World development report, different type of report that are mentioned. They are highlighted as a part of your syllabus. I pasted a screenshot over here. Fine. There are few other ones also. For example, financial stability report. Once you will open the notification, you will open the syllabus. Immediately, you will get to know the list of those reports. Apart from that, the second type of reports are those reports that are not mentioned as a part of your syllabus. So what you have to do with respect to that? So basically for these type of reports, you have to keep 2 factors into consideration. The first thing, the source of the report, and the second is the theme of the report. Now, when I say the source, basically by source, I mean to say that the report should be released by a certain type of body or an organization that has high stature. For example, if it is United Nations or maybe International Labour Organization, or it is, I would say, Niti Aayog, okay? Or it is RBI also. Fine, different type of organizations that are there. It can be international organization, it can be domestic organization also. This is something that you have to know. Fine, so that is the first thing, first parameter, that is the source. The next is, are you going to cover all the reports that are released by UN or by the Niti Aayog or by the International Labour Organization, all such type of, big bodies or World Economic Forum? The answer is no. Here comes the second parameter, which is basically the theme. So the second parameter is theme. By theme, I mean to say that the theme of that particular report that has been released by that source, that should align with the syllabus. I will give you an example from last year. So last year, International Labour Organization released the report, India Employment Report. The name of the report was, the title of the report was India Employment Report. Now, is India Employment Report mentioned as a part of the syllabus? The answer is no. But is employment is there as a part of your syllabus? The topic employment, the answer is yes. So the theme of the India Employment Report aligns with your syllabus. It was very much highlighted in the newspapers also. So you have to cover it. अब पूरी रिपोर्ट जाकर नहीं पढ़नी है, इस रिपोर्ट को पूरा बिल्कुल नहीं पढ़ना है, ठीक है? आपको क्या करना है इसके लिए? You just have to open the newspaper. न्यूज़पेपर में इसकी समरी दी होगी, कोई इंपॉर्टेंट इशू हाईलाइट किया होगा, तो बस उस इशू को जाके या तो न्यूज़पेपर से पढ़ लो या फिर रिपोर्ट खोलकर वहां पर जाकर उस इशू को पढ़ लो. बस आपको इशू स्पेसिफिक रहना है. यू डोंट हैव टू कवर द एंटायर रिपोर्ट, अदरवाइज इट विल बिकम वेरी डिफिकल्ट फॉर यू टू कवर द सिलेबस. फाइन. सो दिस इज समथिंग दैट यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड. नाउ द नेक्स्ट थिंग इज दैट बेसिकली if we see the past year trends with respect to the report, let me just show you with respect to 2023. Let us start with 2023. You can see one question straightforwardly was asked from the World Development Report. Is the World Development Report mentioned as a part of your syllabus? The answer is yes. Look at here, the first one. Now again in 2023, question from report on currency and finance. Fine. In the light of report on currency and finance, explain the macroeconomic effect of climate change. So the report on currency and finance is again mentioned as a part of your syllabus, and since the theme of that report was related to climate change, so that is why the question has been asked directly from it. Now look at here, from the year 2022, right? So financial resilience is essential to any financial institution, discussed in the light of financial stability report. Now is financial stability report there as a part of your syllabus? The answer is yes. Fine, you have to cover it, and that is why you can see a straightforward question has been asked as a part of it. Now if you talk about the 2024, just look at here the question. Rural India needs to give priority to women-led development, discuss, a 10-marker question. Now the thing is that this question has been asked from directly the document Economic Survey. The thing is that while you're covering the syllabus, you have to keep into consideration that the Economic Survey and budget are one of the most important documents. So straightforward question has been asked from the Economic Survey, and if you have watched my previous sessions, many times I have highlighted that how with the help of Economic Survey you could have answered this question in a very precise manner. Now this question discusses the challenges of youth employment in India and suggests a possible solution. Now though this question looks static, but the background of this question is linked to the current affair, which is basically the India Employment Report. Just now I told you about it. Fine, released by the International Labour Organization. This youth employment issue was very much highlighted in the newspapers because of this report, and that is why a question was framed out of it. Fine, so that is the idea. Apart from that, you can see the importance of budget also. Discuss as in 2024 only. Discuss the 5 key Digital India initiative introduced in the Union budget and their potential impact on digital economy. So you can see a straightforward question has been asked from the budget. So you cannot afford to skip these type of documents, these type of reports that are mentioned as a part of your syllabus. And now I hope you are able to appreciate that why this has to be your first priority. After that comes this one, but only and only when the source and the theme, both these parameters are aligning as a part of your preparation. Fine. So let us move forward. Let us see few important trends. So this is something that I wanted to show you, basically how PYQs can be used in order to analyze the trend with respect to the examination. That are there any important topics or important areas that you must prepare, that you cannot afford to skip. So basically that is the idea how you will be able to know those type of topics, because they have been repeatedly asked as a part of the RBI Grade B exam. So let me show you. Discuss the monetary policy and mention in brief at least 8 monetary policy instruments. Question was asked in the year 2023, and that's from the same topic the question was asked in the year 2022 also. That write a note on the current monetary policy framework in India. Fine. So you can see again in 2023 the question was asked from the entrepreneurs, and in 2022 also the question was asked from the theme of entrepreneurs. Now in 2022 the question was asked from the urbanization, which is straightforwardly mentioned as a part of your syllabus, and here also the social structure based question was asked as a part of your paper, which is very much mentioned as a part of your syllabus. Fine. Now look at here the environment based question. So discuss the conflict between sustainable development and economic growth. Fine. So the theme was environmental. Last year only this question was asked, and this sustainable development and environment issues have been directly mentioned as a part of the syllabus. And look at here 2021 question. Climate change commitment of India in light of socio-economic development and health factor. So again see the theme is same. So this is how basically what you have to do for each and every paper, for each and every component. You have to analyze the previous year questions, and then only you will be able to know the priority areas that you have to cover, for that you have to follow while covering the different topics. Now let us move forward. Now let us talk about the answer writing practice. Now the first thing is that, is answer writing practice necessary? Can you afford to skip it? The answer is no. Why is it so? Because it has 67% of the weightage with respect to phase 2. Fine, you can see it is a part of ESI also, it is a part of FM also, and English paper is 100% descriptive. So that is why the weightage is around 67%, approximately 67%. Now, why answer writing practice is important? Because of course it helps you with clarity and conciseness. Fine. So that basically you can deal with the time management as well as the word limit also. It helps you in revision and retention. And last but not the least, the most important part, which is basically building the confidence with respect to your preparation. So that is why answer writing practice is very important, and you cannot afford to skip it. Now, how to prepare for answer writing practice? My suggestion is that if you are a beginner, so please start small. Fine, do not, I would say, do not be in hurry. Do not worry about these minor things, for example, the content and also sort of things, because content is something when you will read textbooks, when you will read your notes also, when you will do multiple revisions, you will get comfortable with content. The first priority as a beginner should be the structuring. Fine, you should know how to write a good introduction. You should know how to write a good conclusion. You should know that you have to present the content of your body in the form of points, not in the form of paragraphs. You have to put proper headings, proper subheadings. Fine, and you have to write your points under it, and you should try to substantiate these points using the data, facts and example. This should be your approach, and this is what I mean by start small. The next thing is consistency. The thing is that please try to practice in a consistent manner. ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि आपने 10 दिन आंसर राइटिंग प्रैक्टिस लगातार कर ली और उसके 10 दिन एक भी आंसर नहीं लिखा, फिर आपने 10 दिन कुछ नहीं लिखा, उसके बाद फिर एक हफ्ता एक आंसर लिख लिया. सो इस तरह से इनकंसिस्टेंसी नहीं आनी चाहिए. प्लीज ट्राई टू राइट आंसर ऑन अ डेली बेसिस, और इफ यू कैन नॉट राइट आंसर्स ऑन अ डेली बेसिस, जस्ट ट्राई टू राइट इट थ्राइस अ वीक. फाइन, that would also be sufficient. Just try to write it thrice a week, and just try to maintain the consistency as a part of answer writing practice. The next is, don't worry about bad answers. I would say it is just a part of process. So don't worry about bad answers. And if you're writing bad answers, I would say you should feel happy that you are writing bad answers as a part of the process only, not in the actual examination. So you should just take it as a learning, and you should improvise upon it so that you can write the quality answers. And trust me that once you will start writing answers straightforwardly for the next 2 months, you will clearly see the difference between your first answer and the 60th आंसर. फाइन, अगर रोज लिख रहे हो तो 60 तक पहुंच जाओगे, अगर नहीं लिख रहे हो तो कम से कम 40 या 30 तक तो पहुंच ही जाओगे. तो आपका पहला आंसर आपके 40वें आंसर से बहुत अलग होगा, और ये आंसर आपका बहुत ही हाई क्वालिटी का होगा एज कंपेयर टू योर फर्स्ट आंसर, एंड यू विल सी द डिफरेंस बाय योरसेल्फ. सो डू नॉट वरी अबाउट बैड आंसर, इट इज अ पार्ट ऑफ द प्रोसेस. लास्ट बट नॉट द लीस्ट, perfection is the myth. By this point I mean to say that even if I show you the answer sheet of the toppers who have got the selection, even their answers are also not perfect. You will be able to find the mistakes and faults in their answers also. So do not try to aim for perfection. Instead, just try to write better answers. Instead of writing perfect answers, just try to write better answers. By better, I mean to say that better as compared to your previous answer and better as compared to the answer of your fellow aspirants. Your mindset should be that while practicing, you should know that I'm writing this point, I'm going to add some example as a part of it, because nobody would have added such kind of example, such kind of data, and it is going to give me better marks. Those people who get selected, they don't get selected because their answer is perfect. They just get selected because their answer is better than the answer of those who could not get the selection. So just focus on that part. Just focus on those things that you can control. Do not focus on perfection. Fine, it is just a myth. And the next is basically how to execute all these things. So basically this is nothing but just a kind of summary. So with respect to current affairs, so as you can see, first thing is that start understanding the current affairs. सीधा रट्टा मत मारो, समझने की कोशिश करो कि कोई भी न्यूज़, कोई भी स्कीम, कोई भी रिपोर्ट, कोई भी अपडेट आ रही है, उसका सोसाइटी में रेलेवेंस क्या है, उसका इम्पैक्ट फैक्टर क्या है, why it has been launched by the government, why it is a milestone of the government, why government wants to promote it. So try to understand it. Do not just try to memorize directly or this rote learning. Just the first priority should be with respect to understanding. The next is start by understanding 2 schemes every day. तो रोज कोशिश करो कि 2 स्कीम पढ़ लो, क्योंकि 2 करके जब पढ़ोगे तो धीरे धीरे आपकी जो रिटेंशन पावर है स्कीम्स को लेकर बेटर होती जाएगी, एंड आप अच्छा टाइम स्पेंड कर पाओगे, और मैं कहूँ यू विल बी एबल टू इन्वेस्ट योर टाइम विद रिस्पेक्ट टू दिस स्कीम पोर्शन. The last is daily read the one editorial. Daily read one editorial related to syllabus. Fine. So for this purpose, you can either follow the Hindu, you can follow Indian Express, or you can follow the Business Standard also. Fine. Whatever suits you. For the ESI portion, I would suggest you to choose between the Hindu or the Indian Express. But कोई एक ही follow करना, एक से ज़्यादा नहीं. ठीक है? Otherwise, you won't be able to maintain consistency. So it will help you with better understanding. Now, please practice, make scribble notes, mind map charts. That is going to help you with respect to the retention part. Then after that, make mnemonics. Fine. तो निमोनिक्स बनाने की कोशिश करो, बिकॉज वो हमें जैसे किसी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के आपको मेंबर्स याद करने हैं. ठीक है, तो आप उसके लिए कोई निमोनिक्स रेडी कर सकते हो जो आपको लॉन्ग टर्म में रिटेन करने में ज़्यादा हेल्पफुल होगा. अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट, practice MCQ and do daily answer writing also. This is very important part of the execution, that whatever you have studied, you should know the art that how you can convert that knowledge into marks, and how you will be able to do that by practicing the MCQs and by doing the daily answer writing. Fine. So I hope it is clear. So that is it from my end. But before we end the session, let me also show you basically that how EduTap can help you as a part of your preparation. So basically, as a part of our course that we provide for the RBI Grade B, so what you have to do, you just have to go to a website which is edutap.in, and over here you can go to the course section and this RBI Grade B courses. Fine. So over here we provide basically 2 types of courses. The first is the gold course and the second one is the silver course. What do we provide as a part of the gold course? We provide the concept classes, which are the detailed pre-recorded classes as a part of our course. Then we conduct the live classes also, so that basically students can interact. Fine, you can ask your doubts. We start from the scratch in the live classes too. We provide the concept notes, which are based on the live classes, and the condensed version of this concept notes to ease your revision is basically the summary sheets. Fine. And apart from that, the mock test and the interview sessions are also going to be there. One-on-one interview sessions that are going to help you with respect to your interview part, and the course is available for multiple validities, 12 months, 18 months, 24 months, whatever suits you. And currently, I would say the discount is going on our website, which is early 15. But if you want to avail more discount, you can also email us on hello@edutap.co.in. Fine, you can email us. So if possible, we will try to provide you more discount also, and that is going to help you. Fine. Now, apart from that, I would say the structuring with respect to course is same for all the components, be it for ESI, be it for FM, no matter what chapter it is. The structuring is going to be same in all the components. You will have concept note, live classes, I would say mock tests. You will be having mind maps also. If you want to look at the demo content that we provide, so just you can go to the website and you can go to this option. So look at here. For the finance, you can see the demo classes. So if this pattern of studying suits you, then you can go for it. Fine. So you can later on see it by going to the website. Apart from that, you can see the mind maps are also there. So let me just show you the demo of the mind map that basically help you with the revision part. So these are the mind maps that we provide. Fine. And you can see it on our website. So this is how EduTap can help you as a part of your preparation. If you have any more questions, any other query, you can just drop it in the comment box and we would love to address all your questions. Fine. Apart from that, if you want us to make video on some other topic, and then you can write that also in the comment box and we will look into it. So thank you so much and all the best. I hope this video, these insights were helpful for you and you are going to implement whatever suits you as a part of your preparation. And of course, it is going to help you in the long run. So thank you so much and all the best.